6 minutes gone past the 5 o'clock hour here in Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to Hard Facts. Today on the Big Hard Facts, we're going to be talking about the politics of foreign aid and borrowing in Africa. We're focusing, obviously, on the African continent. Today, we're talking about one of the most important dilemmas facing Africa. Despite decades of billions in aid and loans, much of Africa, including Nigeria, still struggles with underdevelopment. Just this year, South African politician Julius Malema called on African leaders, especially in Nigeria, to stop excessive borrowing and look within. He warned that borrowing with strings attached from IMF, the World Bank, and other lenders only mortgages Africa's future. Now, before I introduce my guests to you, here are some of the facts that set the stage. Africa's aggregate external debt is around 24 to 25% of GDP. But in many African countries, debt to GDP is projected to pass 50% by 2025. Debt servicing is eating up national budgets. In Nigeria, debt servicing alone consumes a large portion of government revenue, leaving less than nothing for schools, hospitals, even infrastructure. And to make matters worse, aid flows, I beg your pardon, are shrinking. The OECD projects that about for official development assistance to Africa, in the next few months, it will drop by 17%. So with all this money flowing in, the big question is, why is Africa still underdeveloped? And how can Nigeria and the rest of Africa break the cycle of dependency? To help us unpack that conversation today, I'm being joined by Dr. David Matsanga. He is a political analyst and a commentator. Dr. Matsanga, it's so good to have you join us. You're joining us live from the United Kingdom. Welcome.
Thank you very much, my sister, for inviting me to this program. And I hope I'll do the justice that Africans want, to tell them how Bretton institutions have enslaved us since 1944.
Lovely. Let's set the tone, Dr. Matsanga. Julius Malema was recently in Lagos, Nigeria for the legal conference, the conference of the Nigerian Bar Association. And he talked about reckless borrowing, that Africa needs to look within. You and I know as Africans that we are one of the most blessed continents on the globe. But how accurate is Julius Malema's diagnosis for the continent in terms of looking in and breaking the cycle of aid dependence and borrowing?
I think Julius Malema was 100% correct. We recklessly borrow, we misuse this money, and we continue to have a begging ball. I think he should have gone further to say Africa is endowed with a lot of resources, but we have not sat down to look at what we have so that we can develop our local, regional, and continental aspect of how we shall deal with the Bretton institutions that milked at us for 400 years, including the slavery, the taking of our diamonds, gold, carrying them all through the routes in Sahara Desert, up to Mediterranean Sea, the transatlantic trade. We have not sat down to review ourselves after 67 years of independence. So Malema was correct. We borrow recklessly. We misuse the money. There are countries in Africa where borrowed money has been misused. And that is why we have to have hard facts and tell them you have done a very bad job for Africa and your country.
Let's look at the numbers. Maybe you can help us to put it in perspective. Africa's external debt is about 25% of its GDP, and more than 60% of countries will cross 50% of that debt to GDP by 2025. We're already in 2025. How risky a picture is this?
We are going to be mortgaged we're about to mortgage ourselves. Our people will be taken down. Our children will pay these debts until they die. The truth is that most of the countries in Africa need bailout. Apart from few countries in Africa, all of them need bailouts. Why should we reach that line? Why, for example, we spend a lot of money on luxury, on elections? Some of the elections are the most dangerous elections that we need. That's one aspect we should kick out. We should do one thing. I will propose it at the end, which I've put up a paper which I will leave for you to give to your people, listeners, millions that are listening across the world. We are about to be bailed out. Most of the countries need bailout. Very few are in the breathing space. All of them rely on money from outside. Because we have not initiated new methods. We have not done the China way. China 40 years ago, my sister, was the poorest continent on planet Earth, with one rice scheme in Uganda, my country, where I was born. And that rice scheme was feeding 300 million people, plus us Ugandans. We are sharing half-half. But after 40 years, after the death of Mao Zedong, China went back to a drawing board. Africa, since it started borrowing, it has never gone back to drawing board. We haven't. We are doing the things the way we used to do. We are borrowing the way you use. You see, President Tinubu goes to borrow money and said, we need this much. But what is it for? It is ending up in a pit, in a hole. Another one goes to borrow. What is it for? You borrow. Some of the country, the only country that I've seen being serious today, I have been in Ethiopia. I was impressed. If you go to Ethiopia, my sister, and I invite you, and I want to give credit to the Ethiopian Prime Minister. That young man there has done a great job. Continue doing it. At night, you can feel you are in Dubai of Africa. This is a country. Some countries in Africa, it is like you have already reached hell, and you want to ask God, please don't take us to hell again. Some of them. Another country that I saw which is doing something, Burkina Faso, across there. They are doing something. The man is doing something. Niger, your neighbor. So all African countries, Kenya is doing very well, a bit. It borrows, it has used. You can see the projects in Kenya anyway. You can see the good road, the good railway, where you can sleep and do everything, do your work until you reach the coast. That is good. That is something has been done. But some countries, like a Democratic Republic of Congo, God, don't take us to hell. Just take us to somewhere so that we are relieved. That is the tragedy of Africa.
Let's talk about who we borrow from, because that's the core of our conversation today. There are many who have talked about these Bretton Woods institutions and the fact that they have kept us where we are today. But can we really blame them for the position that we've put ourselves in? There are those who, on the one hand, say our leaders are greedy, and that's why we've dug ourselves into the hole that we found ourselves in. Because there's a saying where I come from that it's the rat inside the house that calls the rat from outside to say, come, there's food inside the house. Africa's biggest creditors are the IMF, the World Bank, China, private bond markets. How do their terms differ? And do we take into consideration some of these terms, or we just borrow because we need the money?
I think some countries just borrow, like your country. Nigeria just borrows because it just needs the money. Mr. Tinubu wants to walk with those, fly in a big plane and go to Brazil. He needs money. He has never planned. This is a guy in Africa with a population of 250 million people. His Excellency Tinubu should sit down and get a program for Nigeria. Should be the leading house for Africa. My sister, Nigeria should be the leading house. The Nigeria population, 250 million people, would be buying Uganda's sugar, would be buying Uganda's beans. Useless people walking around, photo. Most of what African leaders like are photographs. Everywhere they want to be shown photographs. Now, if you ask Mr. Tinubu, you are going to borrow for what? In these 4 years, what is done? What has been done on ecosystems in Nigeria? He should have borrowed money to build a dam, another dam. Nigeria has 241 dams. You have never built a dam apart from the ones that the colonial master helped you to build. Which one have you built? And you carry generators. Are you not ashamed, you people? You carry generators from Dubai. All planes going to Nigeria, even including Tinubu's plane, must be carrying generators. Why do you shame yourselves? A country that should lead Africa, a country that should spearhead and call other African leaders, marshal them because of the population. China has marshaled the world because of the population. 2 million people, 2 billion people consume materials what they produce. Nigerians, most of the material they produce, they don't have even industries. They look for it in Dubai, in China. People will die on the aircrafts in China bringing material. Why don't you produce your material and supply it to Africa? That is where we have gone wrong. Not only Nigeria, most of the African countries, very few countries have diversified. They have started like Ethiopia, Burkina Faso, another country that has tried. South Africa tries. Kenya has tried. Infrastructure in Kenya is still building. A few bottlenecks here. Uganda, at least for me, in my Uganda, there is food. We don't suffer from any famine.
Yes.
Nigeria suffers from famine. It pains me to hear that people are dying of famine in Nigeria, when in my country, Uganda, we are throwing food which we don't want. This is very, very bad. That is priority. A leadership has collapsed. Integrity is gone. We look for stomachs. We have our stomachs, not for the citizens who always pay these taxes.
Interestingly, I went to Makerere, so I know that there's a lot of food in Uganda. I know this.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much. I believe you are in Mary Stuart Hall.
Yes, I was. I was.
We are Lumumba people.
Yes.
So that's why you can understand. Ugandans can not talk about food. We have plenty. We can give you. We can feed some countries in Africa that are suffering from food. But we don't have cooperation. For a Ugandan to enter Nigeria, you need 200 documents to fill a form in order to enter Lagos Airport, Abuja. Fill a form. Tell your father, when did your father die? This is something very silly, that are brutish, sardonic.
Thank you for bringing up that issue of cross connectivity, because we have the AFCTA. I just saw the conclusion of the event in in Algiers, where we had the IFTA conference. Like you said, Ethiopia has become a hub of sorts if you're flying across Africa, but then Ethiopia is at the other extreme of Africa.
Yes.
For those of us who are coming from West Africa, flying across Africa is very expensive. That's one. Secondly, of course, as an African, if I'm coming to Uganda, I need an East African visa to be able to come to Uganda, or a Ugandan visa. And this is detailed for several other countries, except maybe if you live around Rwanda, Kenya, and Uganda, then you can go into those countries freely. How are we synergizing, or what is the synergy that we need as African leaders? And I'm talking about the AU, I'm talking about the ECOWAS, all of these countries. What should they be doing in terms of synergy, first and foremost, before we start talking about trade across these countries? We signed into that AFCTA, yes, but I mean, really, what has it yielded for us? Are our leaders just playing to the gallery as opposed to really doing what needs to be done.
My sister, you are correct. You know what? These leaders, which leaders are you talking about? These ones, the ones here. There is not. Do you know that Nigeria has signed all African treaties, but it has failed to deposit their documents for scrutiny? I hope Mr. Tunubu's advisors are listening to me. Why did you sign for African Court of People and Human Rights and failed to deposit documents in Arusha? Why? Scrutiny. You don't want to be scrutinized because you will be in jail in Arusha the following morning. So all these treaties that you are talking about, Nigeria has signed all of them, but it has not effected any of them. Most of the African countries have signed these treaties. For example, us in East Africa, we give you visa. In Kenya, they give you a visa free. Nigerian, you come, good manners, good behavior, you have come to see the mountain, the animals, come in. But when a Ugandan wants to go to Nigeria, oh my God, the embassy, as if do you know we respect white guys better than other Africans? Go to South Africa. If you are in South Africa, there is even a line for other Africans. And then you see the Bazungu who colonized us. Yes, there's a line there for Africans. Other passport hold Africans. So you line there. A Muzungu with a passport British comes, poop, poop, stamp. By the time you reach your hotel, your appointments are done. So if you are looking at Africa, that's why the Bretton Woods institutions are still laughing at us. They know how to manipulate us. They have manipulated us. They have put a ring fenced everything. You want to go this way, you can't go. So this trade after African free trade and so on, which is based in Ghana, is on paper. You can't move one potato from Nigeria to Uganda, or one matoke, which you have eaten for a long time, from Uganda to Lagos. You will have to pay the customs officer. By the time you remove it from Nigerian custom at Mutara at airport, your Lagos airport, it is ripe yellow like my screen here is yellow, and you can't now cook it. So we have a problem with Africa. And you talked about AU, my sister.
I just want you to hold your thought, Doctor. Doctor, just hold your thought. When we come back, we'll talk about the African Union and the leaders and the examples that they're setting. If you're just joining us, it's the Big Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're talking about the politics of aid. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey ladies, do you know Nigerian women are celebrated for their radiant glowing skin? That's right. But with a hot sun, protecting our skin can be a challenge. Good news! Perfectio by Vitabiotics UK gives you targeted support for great looking skin, hair and nails. Packed with biomarine collagen, botanical extracts, and other micronutrients which contribute to skin hydration and radiance while reducing other skin imperfections. Available in pharmacies near you. Perfectil, beauty from within.
In the cooking game, you need a winning game plan. I'm not just talking about your fresh ingredients, utensils, or cooking skills. I'm talking about your choice of seasoning. My game plan is incomplete without Maggi chicken flavor. Made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric, it's my game changer. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
Okay, sandwich, fruits, and water. The new 33CL Nestle Pure Life Premium Drinking Water. Handy size for my little ones. No more half-finished bottles coming back home.
The new 33cl bottle. Big enough to refresh, small enough to finish. And thanks to our trusted 13-step quality process, every drop is refreshingly safe. Nestle Pure Life Premium Drinking Water. Source of hydration you can trust.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. It's my dollar day. Hallelujah, it's my dollar day. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, your Naira card is now like dollars in your pockets, as you can now shop directly on stores like Amazon, eBay, Macy's, and many more in the USA, all with your Naira card. And here's the bigger news. With African Import-Export Solutions, you can now shop anywhere in the USA, completely tax-free. That means you save thousands shopping your favorite items like the latest phones, gadgets, electronics, fashion items, auto parts, and lots more. To learn how to save thousands and get your items delivered to you in just 3 to 5 business days, visit www.africanies.com or call 0700 800 7000 today. African Import-Export Solutions, making global shopping simple for Nigerians.
Hey, yeah, now Rabbi, with your Rabbi, my teeth strong, my mouth is fresh, he clean well, oh, now R.I.P. Strong teeth R.I.P. Fresh breath R.I.P. 24/7 with R.I.P. Strong teeth R.I.P.
Give on our teeth 24 hours protection. Use Orabi today. Na Nigerian Dental Association. Tanga Gidigba with Orabi.
I'm in love, Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stop?
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
This is not just football. This is JJ Ball X, the game where every doggo, every race counts. Here, your football skills pay off. As you raise the ball, you fit dey raise your account balance. So if you think you're the next JJ and it's sure for you, get on the BetKing app. Use the promo code JJBallX. Tap on casino. Click on JJBallX to play and start winning. Remember, not for persons under the age of 18. Play responsibly.
Malta Guinness is now 600 Naira. Now you get the same refreshing, nourishing, rich premium Malta Guinness for just 600 Naira. Available at stores near you. Malta Guinness, here for every kind of you.
All right, class, settle down. Today, let's talk about how you started your day.
We got dressed and had pancakes with John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate for breakfast.
My mom makes John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate for us too.
My mom calls it instant goodness. My sister and I always put it inside our pap. It's so yummy.
John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate is a chocolate drink made of rich cocoa, milk, and sugar. Available nationwide in stores. John Vance 3-in-1 chocolate. Enjoy instant goodness.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Osalobua. Baba, make you help me, oh. Make I dey shine my eyes. Make my enemies no see me, oh. Even when I dey sleep, make I no lose guard, oh. Baba, in short, just dey help me stay alert. As Airtel, they alert me anytime Yahoo people send spam message to take scam me, oh.
At Airtel, we have taken proactive steps to keep you safe from every spam activity with Airtel News Spam Alert service. Powered by AI, it scans text in real time with no app or setup needed. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
To dey healthy, no be for show. Na life wey you suppose dey live. And if you dey cook light with power oil, then you sabi wetin dey healthy. You dey stay active, e mean say you stand fit. Chop light, dey move body, no excuses o. Power oil dey your kitchen. Na you get am. Feel am. Enjoy am. Make you dey confirm. Make you dey 100% fit. Power oil na your lifestyle choice.
Power oil.
The conversations you hear on Nigeria Info.
United Nations, Atiku Obi, and of course, a senator from Borno State, Senator Aline Dume, all are outraged over the killings that happened over the weekend in Borno State.
Both United Nations, all of them are shookers because all of them know the problem of this country. They know how it starts. All of them are involved.
These people, of course, Nigeria, I don't think they have the interest of Nigeria at heart. As far as they are concerned, Nigeria is a business enterprise, and they are only interested in milking the country.
The Lagos APC has denied claims that it's actually attacked ADC members in Ali Mosho.
Even if you're not pointing fingers to the APC, the police should swing in to find out who did this, right?
Conversation never stops. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Hard Facts.
Yes, it is Hard Facts, and we're live from our audiovisual studios right here in Itimian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. This is Hard Facts. I'm Mariana Cohn. Still with me is Dr. David Matsanga, who is joining us live from London as we talk about the politics of aid and, of course, the role that our leaders are playing as African leaders. Why the continent has remained underdeveloped, even with the wealth that it has underneath it. We're still going a borrowing, like my guest said, cap in hand every single day. The big question is, what has to give? What is it that we must do to come back into our pride of place? Are we thousands of miles away from that place, or are we very close? Anyway, before we went on the break, my guest was going to talk about the role of the African Union and maybe the ECOWAS. Dr. David, thank you so much for staying with us. Quickly, there's so many things that the AU could do in addressing, for example, the leadership problems that we have across the continent. And of course, the fact that we have so much underneath us, but yet we're very poor people. But then the bigger question is, who's the AU? These are the same leaders that you and I are complaining of. Who's going to say, well, you need to do right? And who's going to say, well, are you doing right? Because, really, who's going to be the one to speak up first?
Thank you very much, fellow Africans listening to us on the globe across the world. AU is there by letters. AU. It is not the OAU that the founding fathers formed. It has been captured by France.
Sorry, how do you mean it's been captured by France? France is not an African country. Why would it capture the African Union?
Do you know why?
Why?
It pays. He who pays the piper. AU doesn't have its own money. None of the secretary generals who are put there has ever looked for ways of bringing money, our own African money. We rely on donations from this poor country called France in Europe, which has been looting our minerals in Africa, then sell them, then give us donation. You talk of ECOWAS. If France, can ECOWAS make a decision of its own? You have a building in Abuja, but it is empty. It is not, it's funded by France. AU is funded by external funders. 3/4 of the money that makes that building, even the building itself was built by China. What do we have? We are just rented, we are rented commodities. We have rented ourselves to international agencies. The AU that we used to have was the AU of Gaddafi, was the AU of Mugabe. They would talk and they say enough is enough. If I go poor, let me die poor. But don't insult Africans. This current AU is captured. The French have captured AU for the last 8 years. a gentleman by name Muhammad Faki, who comes from Chad. He tall 6.1 feet, useless. He never did anything, even to find something for African Union. More conflicts multiplied on the continent. Libya is divided into two. You call it AU. Are you listening?
I am.
France has taken one part of Libya, eating every day, siphoning the oil from Libya, giving General Khalifa Haftar arms, which kill people in the Sahel region.
And these are not allegations that you cannot
They
prove.
are not allegations. This is true. Don't you know that Libya is divided into two? There's a government in Benghazi and a government in Tripoli. Don't you know that Morocco has occupied Western Sahara? Don't you have in Lagos Sahawaris refugees? They are there. They have been chased out of their country, and Morocco has come to sit in their country. We call it AU. We readmitted them. They said there are more whites than black people like you and me. They want to join the European Union. We have called them back. We have a war in Sudan. AU, listen, I'm naming for you slowly. Ask one AU political affairs department headed by a Nigerian by name Ambassador Bankole. Has Bankole ever flown into Khartoum since the war began? No. Not even one day to try to climb a plane. At least Matsanga has tried to go to Geneva to persuade the two generals to come on table. Sudan is burning, divided. RSF versus SF. Somalia, we have been battling. Now Egypt has arrived in Somalia. Instead of AU making a policy to pacify Somalia, give the powers back to Somalis, we are creating bases. Egypt has come, created a base. We Ugandans went there first. We are lucky, we are happy. If they allowed us, we would have killed all these terrorists into Indian Ocean. They said, don't. We should have finished them. Ugandan troops, we don't joke. We would have taken them out. But they said, don't. Human rights. Now, every country that is coming into Somalia is doing what? Creating a base. Egypt now has come, created a base. Are we going to Somalia to liberate Somalia, or we have gone to create bases? Democratic Republic of Congo. Let me, this one, then you ask, look at the mess in Congo. Until this mad guy across the Atlantic, I don't know whether he's normal, Mr. Trump, he decides to call two leaders, come here, the president of the United States of America. The people selected him, so I'll give him the credit that he was elected by people, although he talks very badly about we Africans. Let me tell you, I don't need a visa to go to US. It is not worth it for me. Let me go tell you the truth. He came to Congo, hijacked the process, and they said, AU was watching. Then AU writes a message, oh, we thank you very much for helping us. Qatar grabs a process, an African process, goes to Qatar to meet people. AU said, thank you very much for helping us. Are we women? I'm not saying women are lower. Are we supposed to be beggars of other people?
So you've painted a very grim. Sorry, doctor, you've painted a very grim picture, and I'm just literally sorting through this because, like you, I have continuously talked about all of the crises across the African continent, especially the DRC and Sudan. But the picture that you're painting doesn't, to the average African who's listening, seem like there's uhuru anytime soon. So what do we need to do now in the interim? Because our leaders are the ones who have the powers to change the course of things. Or does the power lie with us? What do we need to do to get our leaders to begin to look within.
Change the AU charter from a non-biting institution to a biting institution. If you have democratically subjected people and beaten people, don't attend AU. A country like Nigeria should not be in AU.
Why?
Because you are full of bandits, terrorists, what? They are there. Terrorists are killing you. Fulani-Hadi jihadists are coming, killing. My sister, you brought me here to tell the truth. Are you really a country? You should not be in AU at all. You don't observe human rights. You detain people. You kill people. You are murdering people. You are abducting people. Boko Haram has taken all the younger girls. Wait, all the younger girls to where? Boko Haram has taken. Why? You don't deserve, you should have been suspended from AU and the Commonwealth. You should not sit on any group that talks of human rights. But he's still there. And it works. Mr. Tinubu comes and is welcome. The president of Nigeria is making a speech. Which speech? He's going to UN to address empty tables. Are you addressing people? Now, let me tell you, we should have suspended some countries out of AU. Let's change AU to a biting institution, not a patronage.
How many countries are going to be left? If we really are looking at the fact of it, how many countries are going to be left? Because if we look around us, we all seem to be breaking the law one way or another.
Let me tell you, even if we remain one and the organization remains with principle, it's better.
Okay.
The only country that will remain, South Africa will remain. Yes. Ghana will remain. Senegal will remain. Liberia will remain. Let's go. Can I count more?
Let me. I need to go to the phone lines because of time. We're almost running out of time, and I want to bring people into this conversation. By the way, if you're just joining us, this is Hard Facts. Dr. David Matsanga is with us. Of course, we're talking about the politics of aid and, of course, why Africa needs to look within. Join the conversation. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. You could join us if you're listening from outside of the country. You want to call in via WhatsApp. It's 080-959-75805. If you're calling from outside of the country, you need to put the +234 before you're able to call us. The phone lines are open. Let's go straight to the point. 60 seconds, please. Hello.
Hello, Miriam.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Godman.
Godman, you need to turn off your radio, please.
Done, please. Oh, hello, can you hear me now?
Ahead.
Okay, so as we can see, this borrowing is like slavery. The borrower is a slave to the lender. Now, I want to say, because at the end of the day, this is going to affect we, the people, not this government. The government officials, they'll just embezzle this whole money that they borrow most of the time. And when they are gone, it's the people that have to pay for these things they've done. So what I want to ask is, what does he think? How can the people move the leaders to see to it that this borrowing stops? Because we know it's going to be affecting us more than them at the end of the day. So what can the people do to bring the leaders where we say no to that?
All right. So, Doctor, did you hear his question?
No, I did not hear. Unfortunately, he had the radio on.
Okay. So he's asking that, of course, obviously, like, as you stated, that this borrowing, we're going to be paying our children's children. How do the people move the leaders to begin to do something about this excessive borrowing? What do the people need to do?
Do what you did to SARS. You remember when you came down? Nigerian youth, stand up and get these corrupt guys out. You know, Nigeria is a problem. It is the first country in Africa. If you cough, the whole cough catches Africa. I don't know whether you know that. If you cough, and we rely on you because you are the biggest population. God gave you a chance of producing more people. But you are misusing us. You have let us down. I think there is a curse of Captain Lugard who put you together. You are killing each other. Captain Lugard, Wherever you are in the grave, stand up and remove this curse from this nation. Everything wrong in Nigeria. Everything wrong. Electricity is not there. People complain every day. You put on TV, there is complaint. How just get the right leaders? I was there for your elections. I was shocked. Out of 94 million voters registered, 94 million on the 26th came to vote. So 68 went to Atlantic Ocean, underground, and hid, and they came back.
I want to take some more calls, Doctor. Hello, welcome to Hard Fact. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Marianne. What an evening. What a guest you have. Hot-headed, fiery. Congratulations there, Marianne. Always do good. Now, I want to ask your guest, in as much as we can be fiery, we can be revolutionary among the Pan-Africanists, but among the population, the young people, there seems to be that hatred, mutual hatred between Ugandans, Africans, South Africans, Nigerians. They don't seem to agree, because if we must unite, it must come from these young people, not the old people. Thank you.
All right, Maduka, thank you very much for calling. Doctor, I don't know if you heard him, but let me explain what he said. He's saying that for young Africans, he perceives that there seems to be a hatred. There's no unity amongst young Africans, Nigerians versus South Africans versus Ghanaians. There's that hatred. And he's saying if we must go forward, we must unite. How do we, break that barrier?
Exactly. I agree with the caller. If you go to South Africans hate Nigerians like Satan. When they see them at the airport, they want to kill them. They actually kill them. They have formed groups to kill some Nigerians, as if Nigerians are not Africans. Morocco, if you are black like you and me in Morocco, the Morocco police stops you, and you must have your passport and where you are heading. Otherwise, it will beat you very, very nicely, and you break your legs before you travel. So, the type of things we have in Africa are very embarrassing. You need to. Nigerians are hated in South Africa. They even have formed a group that goes to look for Nigerians. They have, profiled Nigeria as a state. Nigeria needs to go back and rearrange itself and form a group and come out as a country leading Africa with a population of 250 million. Maybe in 20 years you will be 300 million people. You're a big nation. You have a lot of resources. You have 241 waterfalls. Why don't you first preach the unity that our founding fathers have? Babata Fabalewa, the Ghana, Guruma, the people who had before Aronzi knocked on the door. General Aronzi knocked on the door and brought a military coup. Obasanjo also came in, Muhammad, all this, Babangida. Obasanjo is my friend, but I always tell him that even if you try to be a Democrat, you have never been. Because you go through a government. And therefore, I don't recognize you as a Democrat. Anybody who picks up a gun to come and overthrow, then turns around to say, I am a Democrat. No. I don't believe in his policy. Okay. But he is a good guy. Look, there was some semblance of unity of purpose. But that unity of purpose at the formation of OAU has disappeared completely with Nyerere. It went with Kuruma, it went with Obote, it went with Jomo Kenyatta, it has disappeared with Amir Brown. Everybody who is in power now in Africa can't unite. We can't unite. Even the youths are looking at us. We can't unite. Ourselves, when we meet in London, you first ask, where do you come from? Instead of saying, this is my black brother, they say, where do you come from? When you say, I'm from Nigeria, then they go further to ask, which part of Nigeria? Are you from Yoruba or Biafra? If you are Igbo, then you can smile. If you are Yoruba, say, let me come back quickly. These are the differences that we have exported that are amongst us. The truth is, our leaders have not united Africa at all. We have left our youth in this area.
All right, let me take another quick call because we're almost out of time. Let me take this call. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon, good evening, Miriam.
Yes.
I'm sure Nigeria should be taken into the ICU right now. Very, very, very. In truth, Jonathan is my name. The most shameful part of it, he has said it. In this era of our life, Nigeria cannot boast of power. It cannot boast of power. And you know what other thing that is paining me, Miriam? Even the God-given wealth that Nigeria gave us, which is crude. That we are supposed to use Richard. Somebody was talking to Chevy this morning. I was just ashamed of this country. Even the crude that God gave us, we cannot on our own in this era go and tap from it. We need to wait for one IOC. At the end of the day, we'll not say take 60%, take 40%. At the end of the day, your people are poor. What else do you want to hear? We have heard it from this visitor. Now. Is this a visitor talking to us? I think they should take Nigeria on a stretcher and take him to ICU right now and do an operation. Very, very sad and very careful thoughts we are hearing this evening.
All right.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, Jonathan is saying that Nigeria needs to be taken on a stretcher into the ICU because we need to be worked on. But, Doctor, before I let you go, because I have just one more minute, the last time Nigerians tried to protest, it was an end hunger protest. There was the presumption that we were trying to unseat the president. And so many people have resigned to fate, really. In 47 seconds, what is the message of hope that you have for Nigerians and Africans in general?
Thank you very much. First of all, I want all the students and the people, millions watching and listening to me to take this quote home. Nigeria is a country without a country, a state without a state. Those who have studied, can I repeat that nicely? Is a country without a country, a state without a state. In political science, it means there is no governance at all. It is each man, each other. That's it, the summary of a state, a country without a country, a state without a state. It means everybody does what he feels for his stomach. There is nothing being done for the generation to come. We have lost it. 2, Nigeria needs to rearrange itself. I agree with the last speaker who says we are on a stretcher. It is not a stretcher. You are in ICU, intensive care unit. You need to be taken down. Nigeria needs to be rearranged. And the high time Tinubu rearranged Nigeria, allowed people to rearrange themselves. You cannot be a big country with so many bad manners of this nature.
I want to say thank you, Dr. David Matsanga, for joining us live on Hard Facts. I wish we had more time to talk about a lot of other issues, but of course we will have time in the future to have this conversation. Thank you once again for coming on the show, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you for calling me, and always come to Uganda to eat more matoke.
I will.
There is plenty for us, and for us Ugandans.
We've got to go. We've got to go, Doctor. Thank you.
It's just unforgettable.
That stew you made last week. I have been thinking about it every day.
Or why your taste buds can't forget Victoria's Crunchy Chicken.
Bestie, please tell me you made fried chicken today.
Or even why your children always want to play in Auntie Kemi's house.
This is what goodness tastes like. Golden caramel, creamy buttermint, and rich coffee. There's a Cadbury candy for every moment.
Cadbury caramel, Cadbury coffee, Cadbury buttermint. Sweet, smooth, and full of flavor. Whether you're chilling at home or on the move, there's a Cadbury candy for every mood.
Yeah, there's a Cadbury candy for every moment.
The This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe Original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong. Finish strong.
Oh yes, your Naira card is now like dollars in your pockets, as you can now shop directly on stores like Amazon, eBay, Macy's, and many more in the USA, all with your Naira card. And here's the bigger news. With African Import-Export Solutions, you can now shop anywhere in the USA, completely tax-free. That means you save thousands shopping your favorite items like the latest phones, gadgets, electronics, fashion items, auto parts, and lots more. To learn how to save thousands and get your items delivered to you in just 3 to 5 business days, visit www.africanries.com or call 0700 800 7000 today. African Import-Export Solutions, making global shopping simple for Nigerians.
It's the choices you make that set you apart from being good to being great. My choice? Nivea Men Deep Body Lotion with Max Tech, powered by Black Cavern, gives you both dark wood fragrance.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.